Yo guys, what's going on? Jared here, and I have just concluded the remote duel YCS after a very grueling and long time. I just finished. I went X-3 in Swiss, and I finished 80th place out of over 2,000 players, I think it was. Yeah, I just took a shower when I finished to wake myself up a little bit before I could rest. But before I get into the deck profile and my experience and whatnot, just a reminder to please subscribe. It does help a lot. I would appreciate it. Keeps me going, keeps me motivated. And now let's just go into I'll start with the experience, then the deck. The remote duel YCS experience, for me specifically, I actually found quite enjoyable. I never had any opponent be sketchy, slimy, scummy, awkward camera angle. The only person that had a bad camera was because they were super far away. I think they were South Korea for like military deployment, and that is no way I'm saying anything about that. That's like, listen, you're a serving country. Do you? I'm not gonna sit here and berate you over a bad camera for connection for being that far. But the all my opponents were super nice, super friendly, win or lose, no matter what. Everyone was great. The judging, I think, did a great job. I think all the judges did an awesome, superior job. I did not hear any bad ruling complaints or anything like that. Everything seemed pretty smooth on the judging end. The only problem that the remote duel ICS had, in my opinion, was the bot issue that they had in the very early rounds. It really messed up the timing, and that's why times from like round 1 to 2 were like insanely long. And then it kind of like snowballed from there to like round 4, and then about round 4 it started to pick up and roll. So I started at 1 p.m. EST and I finished at 2:30 a.m. EST. So it was like a little over 13 hours, which is insane for an event, but here we are. Overall, like I said, I like the event. I think everything was handled fairly well. And yeah, it was actually a really good time for me. Everyone was super nice and kind. Now going into my actual deck. As you can see, I played SWORDSOUL. I played Tenyi SWORDSOUL at that. And I'm going to explain my choices as I go. I felt very confident going into this. And yeah, let's just go right into the actual list itself. For the simple stuff, 2 Taiye, 3 Wang Yang, and 3 Moye, and 3 Ecclesia. I'm not even going to explain this. This ratio is like pretty standard now. I never wanted the third Taiye. I guess that'd be the only thing that would even be considered, but I never wanted the third one. I liked it at 2. I feel like even at 2, sometimes I drew it when I didn't want it. I would have too many normal summons, so I think 2 is just the correct number. You could, like, if you banish one of Desires, it's not the worst thing. And then for the Tenyi package, this is where my build gets a little unique, I would say. We played triple of the Earth, triple of the Light, and triple of Vashuda. We maxed out on all the Tenyis, including spell card, because we wanted to be able to go Chao Fang on turn 1, because I had the prediction that Nibiru was going to be very popular for this event, and I was correct. Nibiru was very popular, but so was Infinite Impermanence, and many of my losses were because of Imperm with Nibiru hand in hand, which is unfortunate, but there's nothing you can do about those losses, really. But overall, I like these. There was times where some of them got a little bricky. Like sometimes I drew Vashuda when I had like already had one, or I drew 2 Adaras, which sucked. But overall, I really do like them. Being able to break boards very well is so good, and being able to set up a turn 1 play with them is also very good. Like turning off light monsters, being able to turn off Dogmaticas with Chao Fang, as well as Nibiru, like I said. They can't go into Chi Chao to use the effect. They can't use Adara, any Drytrons. Like there's so many things that that turning off light monsters hits. They can't go Makaba to use the effect. It's just something that's really, really strong right now, and I felt it was right for this event. And to be honest, I think I would do it again. Everything felt really good. And then for the weirdest part of my monster lineup, I would say was Protoss and Protoss. So the logic behind the 2 Protoss was, one, this card's insane. This card deserves to be banned, and I want to see it pretty much every game. And I don't like, A, banishing it off Pot of Desires, which I play, and 2, I do not want to have to search this with the spell. Drawing this I didn't feel was bad. I wanted my spell to be able to get either Long Young to go Baron first to play around hand traps, or I wanted it to be able to get Mo Yi as an actual consistency card rather than something that makes my end board weaker, if that makes sense. And sometimes double Protoss, like you can make one, they do an awkward play to out it, and let's say they out the board, like they're not killing you if you Protoss them in the right call. And then the following turn, you still have another Chi Chao to get emergence to search the other one if need be, and then you can just lock them out again at the same time. And if like that's just game every time. Like there's no way they're beating double Protoss, calling whatever important attribute in their deck. So this never bricked. This never felt bad. I'm really surprised that more people haven't been doing this, in my opinion. But overall, I liked it very much. I do hope this card gets banned because it's running rampant in this deck, and I think it's just overly disgusting, overpowered. Moving on to the spells. Standard spell lineup. The 1 Sacred Summit and the 3 Emergence. I'm not even going to explain these. This is pretty standard. Sacred Summit's very good in some situations, very bad in others. Sacred Summit also goes along very well with another card that I play. But next up, we have 3 Potted Desires. This, I mean, we're playing 3 ofs like across the board for the most part, besides Protoss. Like I said, I don't want to banish Protoss off Desires either. So triple Potted Desires, the +1. I never banished 3 of anything. I never felt this was hurting me. The only thing I would banish is Blackout, and even then, it wasn't that big of a deal. And then for the other spells, was 3 Forbidden Droplet and 3 Forbidden Chalice. So the logic behind these cards was that I did not want to lose to Artifact Scythe, El Shadal Winda, and a Token Collector. And this prevents all of that. They are all blowout cards that I do not want to instantly lose to. So that was why these are in here. I felt they were very strong. They did do very well, but I don't know. When I needed them, they weren't there. Like one of my match losses was to a Dogmatica player who winded me, and these were nowhere to be found in any of the games. I really just never drew them, which was very unfortunate, and I just lost to a straight out Winda. So, I mean, overall, I liked them. This stopped like 2 Token Collectors. This stopped Winda, a different Winda player. So, I mean, like they did come up. This, Droplets outing Makaba or outing the board of SWORDSOUL. I really liked it overall. Next, I played triple copies of Vessel. This is something that's very highly debatable. A lot of people were playing the other spell. I think it's Circle of the Dragon Souls or something, with the Water Tenyi. But having those with Pot of Desires, if you hit the Water Tenyi, it makes the circle very not optimal, because then if they do stop your Mogi, it kind of defeats the purpose of it. It's not bad, don't get me wrong. It's good advantage, and you get your card next turn as a recovery play. But it's definitely not great, and that was my issue with it. With this, at least, this helps consistency to make the Chao Fang play turn 1. So this plus any Tenyi is Chao Fang, so you can play around Nibiru easier. This also can send Vishuda, and this also can send any, this can send Taiye if I open up Summit and bring it back to then go into a level 8 play and set it up, or go into Yazi because you can banish the Summit. So it sets up very nicely, and yeah, overall I did like this card. I don't know if I'd play it at 3 again, but I was very happy whenever I had it in my hand and it was live. There was only a couple times where I had this with no Tenyis, which was not good, but I was able to get a token out and then play from there. But yeah, I liked it. It's so good for breaking boards as too, just be able to guarantee Vishuda, to guarantee Boxia, stuff like that to push through. Super, super strong. And then for the traps, I only played 2. I chose to play 1 Blackout. Blackout was good. I don't know. It wasn't great. It didn't do anything exceptional. It was just there. And then I played 1 Imperial Order. This card is broken. Its order takes out 1/3 of the game. Should be banned. So we were pretty much, with this build, we were just abusing ban cards with the abusing cards that should be banned, which is Imperial Order, double Protoss. I just feel like those cards are just completely unfair and shouldn't exist in the game whatsoever. Going on to the extra deck for my level 10s, it was just these 2. This is pretty standard, Baron and the Supreme. And then next we played the 1 Chao Fang as the level 9 synchro. Again, I really like this card. I think it was excellent. I think it did perform well. Being able to search Ecclesia when it dies 2, or when it beats over something, search Adhara. There's a lot of plays with this that come up, and turning off Nib's huge. Having 2 Boxia was also really good. You have 1 for first turn, and then you have 1 for next turn for follow-up. Also being able to clear a board, super, super strong. Next, 2 Chi Chao. This is standard. I'm not going to explain this. 1 Dragite. I think I made it once. 1 Berserker. I think I made it once. 1 Crimson Blader. I never made it. I wish this was Scarrite for burn for time. That's the only reason I wanted Scarrite, and this just didn't perform at all. 1 Yazi. I'm not going to explain this. This is just go with Taiye. And then because we're playing so many Tenyis, we played Triple Monk. This is pretty self-explanatory. And 1 Shaman. Pretty self-explanatory. And now for the side deck. My side deck is super easy. 3 Judgment. We just put this in going first, just because it makes your board even stronger. You could have Baron, Guy, Judgment, or Chao Fang, Chichao, Judgment, Protos, you know, whatever it may be. It just adds that extra layer that's like disgusting. For back row decks, we have 3 Cosmic Cyclone and 3 Evenly Match. Evenly, I did not like this event. It did not come up as much as I wanted it to, and Lancia was very prevalent. I kind of wish these were something like Lightning Storms. I chose these 6 because I wanted to play around Lord of the Heavenly Prison, but I never encountered that card. I would have much rather had these be Lightning Storms. And then I also played 3 Droll and Lockbird. This was only for Bird Up, this, and for like Drytron, you know, like any of those combo explosive V decks that this will just end their turn. You know, that's the hand trap I wanted, was something to just end the turn, and that's Droll and Lockbird essentially. And then the last 2 cards was 3 Dark Lord No More. Dark Lord was good, not great. Did its job. It turned off boards. The only problem was when I drew it in the last round, we were too close to time, and you know, I broke the board, but then I couldn't do any damage, and he burned me for 12 with his Long Young, and then we went into time. So it was kind of unfortunate, but that's just how the cookie crumbles, and that's the story of how we won X3. But yeah, like I said, I got 80th place. I did like the deck, to be honest. I don't think I would change much. The weirdest thing, I played like no hand traps besides Droll. Maybe that will change in the future, I don't know. But for now, I did enjoy this build. This was very good. 10Us are insane. And overall, I hope you guys enjoyed the list. I hope you enjoyed the explanation. And if you have any questions, feel free to comment down below, and I will gladly answer them. Just please remember to subscribe. I appreciate it. It keeps me going motivated. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.